The dictionary definition of an influencer is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending the items on social media. However, the real key to influencing is the connection between the viewer and the influencer. There's a level of trust, which for better or worse, makes a person far more likely to buy something or send a donation somewhere that an influencer recommends versus a regular ad. This week, for their final challenge, our influencers will be tasked with looking inward to reflect on their own platform and the power of their influence to see if they can use it to make a real difference. Welcome to Influence This. Each week, we are putting 5 influencers to the test to see if they can create videos for either a small business or a good cause. This will test their creativity and ingenuity while allowing us to watch the process. With me, your host, Malia Miglino, your macabre-loving travel and history expert. Welcome to Influence This. Welcome back, everybody. It's our final challenge week. How are we feeling?
Thank God.
It's over.
That's so honest.
I feel sad though.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun.
Well, it's been a real wild ride. We have thrown a lot at y'all. We have asked you to step inside the mind of business owners to maximize square footage. We've tasked you with educating people on the dangers of distracted cell phone use. And this week is going to be your biggest challenge yet. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think that's especially true for influencers, right? Like, as those numbers climb, so does your influence. At a certain point, you're gonna have to ask yourself if a paycheck is worth promoting something that you don't necessarily believe in, or if there's a cause that you're passionate about is worth potentially losing followers over.
Yikes.
Yeah, right? Like, it's
That's
something
hard.
you really have to think about because the relationship between viewer is sacred to some people. So they want to know that you really believe in something, and you should believe in what you post. It should matter to you what you post. We've all experienced, I'm sure, companies that we love that make a move and they support something that loses them a lot of customers because as consumers, as soon as a brand doesn't feel authentic, we no longer want to partake in it. But the opposite can also be true. When an influencer uses their platform to promote something they really believe in, their followers are so much more likely to either buy that product or donate to that charity. Same with businesses. Businesses that openly support something and donate portions of their profits obviously you're going to draw more customers in and potentially help spread awareness about that cause. Are we kind of guessing? Are we getting some ideas of what we're doing here? Well, thankfully, we have a special guest in the studio that can speak way more eloquently on the subject.
My name is Anjali Hoffman. I'm a hairstylist in Philadelphia. I was diagnosed with breast cancer at 28 years old and found hair to stay when I went through scalp cooling treatments during chemotherapy to save my hair. This day and age, there are so many resources and platforms that you can use your voice to help others with. And being a hairstylist, I was like, well, this goes hand in hand. So I'm at my salon. I decide I'm going to start fundraising through my salon for Hair to Stay. While going through my treatment and helping others in the community with their hair journey, there's this very amazing treatment that so many people don't know about that can help you with the side effect that makes 8% of people say no to chemotherapy because they don't want to lose their hair. And I just made a page, didn't link my story to it. A few days later, we get a call from Bethany Hornthal, the founder of Hair to Stay, and then they flew me out to San Francisco last year to receive the Cooler Heads Prevail Award for my fundraising efforts. I think influencers can have a huge impact on the success of nonprofits. When you post something on social media, the people that care about you are going to care about that thing and donate. And so if just one of these influencers were to do that in an engaging and genuine way, the amount of people that would find out about this and partake in this and the widespread that it could have would be incredible.
Hi.
Thank you
for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Anjali. I am so excited to talk to you about this. And can you just explain to us what the scalp cooling treatment is and how it helps?
Yes. So it is a cap that you wear during chemotherapy treatments that helps to cool the follicles on the scalp to below freezing. This constricts the blood vessels so that the chemo essentially can't reach the hair follicle, therefore keeping it intact. You have to wear it prior to chemotherapy for about a half hour, and then during the treatment, and then for about an hour and a half after. And there are two types. One is connected to a machine, so it's automated and circulates the coolant for you, but that's not available in a lot of facilities. So sometimes you do have to provide your own cap and dry ice and switch out your cap at the proper time throughout treatment, and you're dealing with that all yourself. And then meanwhile, when we got the FDA clearance over in the US, because it originated over in the UK, that is when our founder of Hair to Stay, Bethany, learned that insurance does not cover this treatment because it's not medically necessary. So this wasn't a treatment that was even available at the time that my mom lost her hair, and it could have prevented her from permanently losing her hair. And so now, that's what we do. We help fund this for patients that can't afford it. It can be quite costly. Of
course.
And a lot of the times in medical facilities, they don't make it seem like it's a priority because they just want to save your life, which makes a lot of sense. But if you can save the way you look on the outside while you're going through this, then that makes your overall health so much better while you're going through such a hard time. There's about 8% of patients will refuse chemotherapy because they don't want to lose their hair.
Wow.
So our goal is to never have to have someone have to make that decision based off their financial situation.
As a business owner, when you're dealing with your clients and people are going through those treatments, I know you started just promoting this on your own through passion, and now you actually work with Hair to Stay. What has your journey kind of taught you about what business owners and influencers can be doing with their platforms and their businesses to help spread the word about different things like Hair to Stay?
Yeah, so for me, it was kind of, I'm not an influencer, but being a hairstylist, I was right place, right time. Everything kind of fell into place. And I was like, I do have this platform to be able to raise money for something that not only is personally so connected to me, but makes sense in my business. So when you're a business owner or a manager of a business, you're not influencing online maybe, but you're influencing the community. And when you care about something, your clients care about it, the people you know care about it. Great to do things to make a profit, but it's also great to teach people in the community when you have a following of people, other things that they can contribute to. I was able to educate my stylists and they were able to educate their clients. It really just kind of expanded super quickly. And just because I found this organization and said, can you guys please donate here? And then it just kind of took off. Even if you don't think you'll have a huge impact, it might spread way farther than you thought. So
it comes down to passion. Right? How genuine can you tell someone's passionate about something? Because you're connecting with the humanity of somebody. And I just want to say, I think, as the daughter of a cancer survivor, I'm so appreciative of the work that Hair to Stay and you're doing. Really, I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
So, influencers, your challenge this week is to use your platform for good. Look inside of yourself and ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What causes burn in your chest that you just feel so strongly about? The charity you choose has to be real. The facts you use have to be real, but it has to be on brand and it has to be in your voice. This is your time to take everything you've ever learned over the last few weeks and really apply it to this challenge. You have such a big platform. You can use that to really make a difference. But this week, there's actually a twist.
Oh. Okay. We're feeling that.
Instead of 1 week, you are going to have 2 weeks to complete this challenge. In 1 week, you are going to submit your draft video to our team of entrepreneurs and you will get notes, and then you will have the next week to complete your video with all of those changes. And your videos do have to be 60 seconds max, and I'm looking specifically at you, DeAndre.
Sorry.
This is your moment to take everything you've learned and apply it. Everything you have learned has led to this one moment, and I genuinely cannot wait to see what all of you come up with. Stay tuned to see just how much our influencers have learned the past few weeks, who they choose to support, and most importantly, how much impact they can make for a good cause.
Yeah, so I thought that I wanted to do like maybe a foster youth charity and really promote them, because I feel like our foster community is not really looked at as much. And I don't know, being a voice for that, I feel like it would be really a good deed.
This was a no-brainer for me. I think we live in a very business-driven, for-profit mindset type of culture. One, service to others should be an element of all of our lives, and it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. And service is often overlooked, and that's not the way I like to live my life.
It's a Wednesday night. Just got off the phone with Yaya for about our 5th time today, trying to kind of process where we're going with this new challenge, which is a charity event. We both have a passion for children, young children, and especially mental health. And it is a real problem. And so we're gonna tackle this.
I'm optimistic. I really want Best Video this week. I'm ready to talk about my transition and organizations and nonprofits that help trans people and trans youth. And I'm excited to get this started.
Do you volunteer with any organizations?
I do not.
Why?
The reason why life is busy is because most of us are taught to pursue forward progress.
I wanted to check in after you put in your first video.
I think I got the concept down, but I'm definitely ready to kind of refine it, add a bit more, just a little bit more like structure to the video.
But I would love it if you were just leveling with us. Even if it was you smash cut and it's you're pulling up a chair to sit in front of the camera. And it's listen, I know we all think that we don't have time to volunteer. We need visual elements. You talking about it is great, but what would be even better is if we can actually see the organization that you work for. Is there footage of working with the youths or them doing something that this, organization helps with? Can we see it?
Hi, my name is DeAndre Pullen, and I'm a former foster youth.
First of all, how do you feel about getting to do a notes round this week?
I feel good because then I could revise.
But the biggest thing is we need you to choose an actual charity that exists.
Oh, okay.
So we need to look into a charity that already is doing what you're hoping people will do after watching your video, which is help give resources to other foster youth. When you pick a charity that's already kind of doing the work that you're trying to encourage people to do, you really want to let people know, if they don't know how the foster system works, why it's so important that they donate and help kids out.
Yeah.
But also, you had a good childhood. Is there footage that you can pull of yourself as a kid? We want to see that. People really need to be convinced visually. I think it's one thing to hear a personal story, but what's going to take it to the next level is that visual element.
We've decided to partner with Ames Foundation, and we need to remember the bottom line is the children are our future. And so we hope you join this with us.
I do love the concept of the video. I would like to see more visual elements, specifically when it comes to the photos that you already have, but it's a photo within a photo. It always looks higher quality if you can make the photo the full frame of the video. You start talking about the organization, that's when you should be cutting to the actual full screen videos or photos of the organization. And also, I think the two of you uniquely care about kids a lot because you have a lot of grandkids. You're the grandfluencers. So any way that we can see some visual element of how important children are to you, I think that would be great.
So this week, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be, as people like to call it, vulnerable. Besides it being a little too long, which I know we were trying not to be too long, I really tried to be vulnerable. I really tried to how can I speak to my audience and share this? And so I think I did that.
One of the things that makes you so relatable and has led to so much of your success is your comedy and how you level with people. I don't think you need to tell people I'm going to be vulnerable with you, because what you're talking about is vulnerable.
I
think at this point you all are familiar with my kitchen. I got some great notes from Malia, and I totally agree with her. I think that last week my video lacked visual elements. I don't want my video to come off boring or uncomfortable. So this week, I'm going to keep the same structure of the video that I did last week, but we're gonna add some visual elements. And I have my camera set up right here. So that's gonna be the angle. And then of course, since I have terrible memory and cannot memorize anything, I'm going to put my computer on there. This is my setup.
You don't have to tell people you're vulnerable, Naomi. Just be vulnerable. Okay, period. So let's be vulnerable. I sat there and my mind really went, let me take her advice and do this video montage of like me before I transitioned and then now me transitioned. And I think it really just worked for me.
We just kind of got off the phone a couple hours ago with Malia, and that was a nightmare. I know that we're still beginners in this. I mean, we're like 6 months in. So the whole editing process and splicing and all this stuff, and even the brainstorming, we're still working on all of that. We're really not straying too far from what we had.
Right.
We're just kind of
Just tweaking it a little bit.
That's it. She stole the words out of my mouth.
I chose an organization, Camp Ready, that supports the foster youth movement that I'm looking to promote. I think the notes from Malia was super helpful. I mean, getting on that call, hearing her, hearing the feedback on my video, it was a little trash. I'm not gonna lie. My video was a little rushed. But in my video that I edited on my MacBook, I literally sat here for like an hour and I just knocked it out because it was simple, it was easy, it was nothing. And I like to edit.
This week, our influencers were challenged to create a video spotlighting an association they care about and to reflect on the power of associations in building community.
Welcome back, everybody. How are we feeling? Great. Now, for your final challenge, we gave you not 1, but 2 weeks with notes and revisions in the middle to complete your videos. I'm curious how you guys felt that helped you do your videos this time.
I feel like for me, it kind of helped. I think it was like a really good heart-to-heart moment that we had. It's hard for me to be vulnerable. And I think by you telling me, you don't have to tell people you're vulnerable. At first I was like, okay, who is she trying to control? What is she trying to say? But then I was like, actually, you're right. Just be honest, wear your heart on your sleeve. And I think I didn't necessarily take a full 360 or 180, whatever the term is, but I definitely took your advice and changed what I needed to change, I feel.
I think that it's cool to be like comedic in one aspect, like I'm very comedic, but for this challenge, for us to have to be like more vulnerable or more heartfelt, it challenged me. Well, actually, it didn't challenge me because I can channel that, but I was so excited to be able to show that side because that's really what influences.
It was like having a third eye to check in on what we were doing, because I'll edit something and send it her way, and then she'll be like, no, right? We still have 2 eyes, but then it was someone else saying, hey, go back and double check it again. And that was beneficial for us, especially being new to editing and just starting out.
Yeah, I thought it was really useful to get the commentary from you. I was really sick the week that I turned in my first submission, so my video kind of sucked. And so I was really glad that you gave me those revisions. And I also just think like when businesses work with influencers, they should be giving them revisions. They should be giving them a clear-cut, list of what they want. So I thought it was good training for us as influencers to take notes, incorporate them, and then give you the finished product.
Well, absolutely. You all hit it on the mark because really, you guys did an amazing job at pivoting when you were given notes, and all of your videos were so much stronger because of it. But it really is more reflective of the real world. When you work with a brand and you do a collaboration, you almost always go through at least 1 round of edits and notes before that video ever gets posted and you get the paycheck. So I'm really happy that we got to practice that with you guys because it really showed the before and after and how much those notes help. And I also want to applaud all of you for choosing charities that clearly meant something to all of you. That was a huge part of the challenge this week. And you guys knocked it out of the park. The passion really showed, and that really aided in how good your videos were. And speaking of your videos and the feedback, we did show your video to Here to Stay, but I also reached out to all of the charities you made videos for to see if they had anything to say. And the good news is we heard back from almost all of them. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. And we're gonna start with you, Grandfluencers.
Did you know that 20% of our youth from 3 to 17 have some sort of mental disorder?
That is so crazy that you're talking about that, because we were just having this conversation in the classroom with some of my fellow teachers about kids in school coming with behavior issues, emotional issues, fear, anxiety. I think the number is like 1 in 5 children are suffering with some kind of mental disorder.
So we have a passion for our children and their future.
We really do, and we've done some research and we've decided to partner with Ames Foundation. They do something so wonderful. They work with children and their parents through those emotional issues and get them back on that track of health and wellness.
And what can we do? It's simple. We could donate money, donate our time, start a fundraiser.
Absolutely. So don't forget, like, this is all of our jobs, right? And we need to remember the bottom line is the children are our future. And so we hope you join this with us.
It was great. And Sydney from AIM also loved that your passion really shone through for children. And personally, that was my favorite part of the video. Being grandmas, I really think that really shone through in this video. I think it's that sincerity and seeing you with your grandkids that really influenced me to care about this charity. So I think you did a really great job. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, DeAndre.
A foster home isn't just about giving undeserved children a roof over their heads. It's about family and actually feeling wanted and seen and included. It's about nurturing and love. It's about finding joy that cleanses the spirit and heals what that foster youth may have seen and been through. It's about helping foster youth find their purpose and their voice. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to be adopted by my great aunt who shared old Southern values of respect, dignity, love, God, and good food. With this, I was inspired to find a passion in film and TV and worked over 6 years to produce hilarious independent content that gained over millions of views across different platforms worldwide. With Ready to Succeed, their goal is to help empower foster youth and first-generation college students to graduate college, launch successful careers, and reach their full potential. With your help, you can be a part of a movement that empowers foster youth from around the world to have access to resources that help them be great, like you and me.
Great job. Oh my goodness. Listen, Stare to Stay, really enjoyed your video. The only critique she had was that you maybe were kind of burying the lead. It took a little while to get to the call to action. I, however, loved your video. I thought it was very, very well done. I thought it showed a different level of sophistication in your content that we haven't seen before. The only thing I would say is this is for social media, so maybe keep it all in the vertical format. But this is a beautifully done ad, and I think you really did a beautiful job weaving your personal story and making us influenced to want to care about supporting foster youth. So really, really good job.
Thank you so much, so much.
Bijan, I kind of feel like this challenge was tailor-made for you since you're actively involved in an organization. Well, let's see what you did.
Okay. Do you volunteer with any organizations?
I do not. My time is very consumed by work. If I'm not working at my restaurant, I am also training people. It's like kind of hard to manage some time right now.
I get it. Not everyone has time to volunteer. But let me tell you about an organization that might change your mind. The Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Organization, better known as HOBE, is one of the world's premier leadership seminars. HOBE is a 4-day overnight seminar for rising juniors in high school. Over the course of a summer weekend in June, 150 of America's brightest students convene to listen to speakers discuss topics like political activism, community service, and entrepreneurialism. We train them in public speaking and put them through challenges that hone their ability to work with others and give them assessments that help them better understand their personal values and what it is they're actually passionate about. For over 50 years, HOBE has gifted young people with increased self-awareness, which any legend will tell you is a first step in changing the world. We are always looking for new volunteers, so send us a message and let's find you a role at HOBE. Don't you want to change someone's life?
Great job. Here to Stay really thought your video was incredibly clever. She just wished there was footage of you actually volunteering with the organization, and that same sentiment was reflected by Emily from Hobie, but they also said they love you and that you did a great job and you are an integral part of the organization. And I agree with all of their notes. I think this video shows what you do best. From your man on the street interviews to your really charismatic and cinematic styles, I just thought it was fantastic. I think it would influence anybody to care and want to be a part of this organization, or at least start volunteering for something they care about. It was a beautifully done video. I loved your pivot. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're influenced.
Thank you.
Now, Naomi.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie. I can't wait for everybody to see what you did.
26 years ago, I was born and I had no idea what the future held for me. But I did know that I was different and I just didn't feel like I belonged. I am someone who had to come out twice in my life. I came out in the 7th grade as gay, and then I came out again going into 11th as transgender. It was something that terrified me because I thought I would lose my family, but they were so supportive. My grandmother, who came from a religious background, always said family before God, and she took me in as her granddaughter. And my mother never left my side. No, literally, she's still here, even through marriage. And I bet you're wondering, why are you talking about yourself so much? Well, as a trans Latina, I wanted to showcase a nonprofit called the Trans Latina Coalition to showcase what they do and give them a platform. And they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. They have their successive members with 15 years of organizing for transgender, gender nonconforming, and intersex lives in the US. 5,000 plus people who have access services at their organization in 2022, and $13 million allocated through their policy work in 2021. As a trans Latina who is living in the US, who was scared growing up, I am so happy that there are places like the Trans Latina Coalition who can help people like little me, who just had dreams of being who they were meant to be.
So I want to start your feedback by reading an exact quote sent over from the CEO and president of the Trans Latin Coalition, Bambi Salcedo. They said, "Seeing the video, it really touches my heart because you don't really know the impact that you're having on people. And it's beautiful that I get to see the fruits of our labor and how we are impacting the lives of people." Also said that your video was the most engaging and captivating video of all of them. She thought it was clever, it was entertaining, and it was beautifully vulnerable. And I just want to say that I think this video is Naomi at her best. It is comedic, it's heartfelt, it's honest, and it's brave. And what I mean by brave is so many people are so afraid of being themselves and being honest with themselves. And you being so beautifully you influences on so many different levels, not just to want to volunteer, but also to hopefully find out who we are. So I just want to say, Naomi, this was a slay. You killed it. Great job.
Wow, thank you so much. It took 7 weeks to get here, but I'm happy. Finally, we did it.
How is everybody feeling after their feedback?
Good. It's for the charities. It's not for Best Video of the Week.
Okay.
It's for the charities.
Okay. Now the competition dies down, right? I just want to say that I am so incredibly proud of all of you. Over these last weeks, I have seen all of you grow, get outside of your comfort zones, beat yourselves up a little bit too much, but I understand we're all perfectionists here. But I've watched your confidence grow to be able to tackle challenges and content that is very difficult to make. You guys were asked to make videos that no influencers are really making videos about, and I can see how that has changed all of you. Watching you guys through this process and you guys letting me be a part of it has meant a lot. So thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. And
Thank you.
well, and next week for our final meeting, we are going to dive into those journeys and see just how far all of you have come. Now that you've seen what they have done, let us know in the comments how you would influence this.